Namaskar, this is me, Sanya Raj, back again after such a long time. And I'm sure आप लोग ये सब सोच रहे होंगे कि इतनी देर जो हम बाद आए हैं और फिर से हम किस टॉपिक पे बात करेंगे, पर आज आपको मैं याद दिला दूं, आज 14th जून है और बहुत सारे लोग पूरे मीडिया में यही फैला रहे हैं, बात कर रहे हैं इस बात को कि दिस इज अ ब्लैक डे. In a way, it's true because आज we lost Sushant Singh Rajput, and Sushant Singh Rajput एक नाम नहीं है. It's a revolution. It's a kind of a name which is graved into our hearts. Millions of people have been, saddened because of this death. And he has set an example to not just youth, but also the old people, the young people, the women. He has been, has touched hearts of millions all over the world. तो आज मैं मिस्टर मंजीत सिंह डागर जी से बात करूंगी, जो कि बहुत शुरू से ही बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट मुद्दों पे बात करते हैं. बहुत लोगों ने उनको सुना है, बहुत सारे चैनल्स में सुना है उनको, और मैं चाहती थी कि वो ये आएँ आज और हमारे साथ मिलकर सुशांत को याद करें. और वो एक्चुअली बड़े फैक्चुअल से हैं और काफ़ी उनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है अबाउट डिफरेंट केसेस, जो कि मैं आपके सामने रखना चाह रही थी. मैं ज़्यादा केस के बारे में ना बात कर ये बात करना चाहती हूँ कि हमारे जो देश में, हमारी जो सोसाइटी में ये सारे जो कारनामे होते हैं, उस पे हमारा क्या हम एक थके हुए लोग हैं जो हार मानकर बैठे हैं, या हम वो लोग हैं जो होप को ज़िंदा रखते हैं, हम वो लोग हैं जो सच को के साथ जुड़े रहना चाहते हैं, हम वो लोग हैं जो इस सोसाइटी में कुछ अच्छे को उठाना चाहते हैं, कुछ अच्छी लोगों के सामने आकर उनके साथ जुड़कर एक अच्छा सोसाइटी बनाने की चेष्टा रखते हैं. तो मैं मिस्टर मंजीत सिंह डागर जी को वेलकम करती हूँ हमारे इस लाइव सेशन में. नमस्कार मंजीत जी, सो वेलकम
नमस्कार
टू सी यू
नमस्कार
हियर.
नमस्कार नमस्कार
आप बोल रहे हैं आपको मौका दिया, आप फिर भी आ गए हैं, तो आई एम रियली ग्रेटफुल टू यू कि आपने यहाँ आए और थोड़ा बातचीत करेंगे. हम एक शॉर्ट कॉल रखेंगे. मंजीत सिंह जी, आपसे जब मैं बात कर रही थी कल, तो आपने कुछ चीज़ें बताई थी. हम सीधा मुद्दे पे आएँगे. आज हम बात कर रहे हैं हमारे सुशांत सिंह राजपूत की, और हम एज़ अ फैमिली, एज़ अ एसेसारियंस फैमिलीज़ जो हम कहते हैं, आप भी हैं, बहुत सारे और लोग हैं, जो जुड़े हुए हैं शुरू से ही. हम इनकी फैमिली को, जो एसेसारियन की सिस्टर्स हैं, उनके जो पिताजी हैं, उनके जो पूरी फैमिली है, हम उनके साथ मिलकर ये लड़ रहे हैं. हम तो उनको जानते भी नहीं हैं, फिर भी हमारी यही चेष्टा है कि सुशांत उनकी फैमिली को, सबको ये कहीं न कहीं कुछ न कुछ सहानुभूति दे सकें. इसीलिए आज हम फिर मौजूद हुए हैं इस प्लेटफ़ॉर्म में. तो मंजीत सिंह जी, प्लीज़ आप बताइए, जो आप बोल रहे थे, इस केस का थोड़ा-सा पहलू दीजिए, जो आप कल मुझसे बात कर रहे थे.
देखिए, केस पे भी बात करेंगे. सबसे पहले सुशांत सिंह राजपूत की जो बात है, आज 2 साल हो गए हैं. 14 जून को उनका जो है कत्लेआम हुआ था एक तरीके से. तो ये एक बहुत ही ट्रेजिक घटना हुई. एक इतना बड़ा था, वो एक आम घर से निकला हुआ एक बहुत बड़ा स्टार था. मैं ये सिर्फ ये कहूँगा कि छोटे पर्दे से कोई भी नहीं, दम है तो कोई लेके दिखा दे. लास्ट टाइम शाहरुख खान दूरदर्शन के जो सीरियल था, और दूरदर्शन का जो सीरियल सर्कस था, उससे निकल करके वो 30 साल पहले वो जो है बॉलीवुड में उसने कदम रखा था. और 30 साल की बात वो था, उसने स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी की स्कॉलरशिप जीती थी. स्टैनफोर्ड वर्ल्ड की टॉप 3 यूनिवर्सिटी में है, जहाँ मुकेश अंबानी पढ़े हुए हैं. तो उसने भारत में करियर बनाने की सोची. तो इसका मतलब भारत का जो जुडिशल, भारत का जो संविधान है, उसको न्याय देना चाहिए. जिस व्यक्ति ने विदेशों के बड़े ख्वाब, और वो बहुत बड़ा रिसर्च वहाँ कर सकता था, बहुत बड़े उसके जो माइंड के बड़े प्लान्स थे. तो जिसके मन में क्रिएटिव विचार होते हैं, कुछ नया करता है, वो सिर्फ नौकरी नहीं करता है कहीं की, नौकरी करने वाले को कितने लोग जानते हैं? वो कुछ नया करने की एक सोच रखा है, ऑर्गेनिक खेती की आपने सुन ही लिया था। तो इतने इस तरीके के टैलेंट को मार दिया गया, और फिर उसके साथ में भारत की जनता खड़ी भी हो गई, और हम सब लोग आंदोलन चलाते भी रहे, और ये केस सीबीआई को रेफर हो गया। हम सब लोग जा करके सिर्फ एक कि इस मामले में हम लोग जो वेट कर रहे हैं, हमारे साथ दिक्कत ये है कि एक गाना था पुरानी फिल्म का कि आगे भी जाने ना दूं और पीछे भी जाने ना दूं।
हाँ, बिल्कुल।
ठीक है,
हाँ,
तो वो मैं यहाँ कोट कर रहा था कि जो एडवोकेट हैं सुशांत सिंह राजपूत के, विकास सिंह, उन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके ये कहा है कि हम सीबीआई जांच से आगे जाएंगे और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजों का पैनल बनवाएंगे। तो भाई हम आगे बढ़ जाएं, रिपोर्ट पेश करके। जो अगर आप क्लोजर रिपोर्ट ही लेके बैठे हो, आप ये लेके बैठे हो कि आपको सुसाइड की रिपोर्ट दे दो, आप देनी है आपको, हम आगे
जी,
सुप्रीम कोर्ट पहुंचेंगे और
जी,
उसको गलत साबित करेंगे। जिस तरीके से सुनंदा पुष्कर थरूर को पहले सुसाइड साबित किया गया और उसके बाद में मर्डर
जी,
साबित हो गया सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी की याचिका पर, तो
जी,
वो कैसे हो गया बताइए? कोई पूरे भारत की मीडिया ने सुसाइड दिखाया उसको, अब माफी मांगेगा कोई? तो
जी,
ये मैं ये 302, हाँ ठीक है, ये तो हमारी डिमांड थी। मैंने शुरुआती दिनों में ही 3 डिमांड रखी थी। उनमें पहली डिमांड थी 302 लगे सुशांत के केस में, ठीक है। दूसरी चीज थी जल्द से जल्द चार्जशीट फाइल हो, और तीसरी चीज ये थी कि इस मामले को फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट में डाला जाए। अब ये थोड़ी है कि आप केस चलाते रहो 10 साल तक। सूरज उसमें जिया खान के मामले में सूरज पंचोली 22 दिन जेल में रहा था, उसमें गिरफ्तारी हुई थी, और जबकि उसमें बाद में सुसाइड की रिपोर्ट जो कोर्ट को दी गई। जिस मामले में सुसाइड की रिपोर्ट दी गई, उस मामले में भी गिरफ्तारी हो गई। तो बताओ, इस मामले में गिरफ्तारी अभी तक जो एक भी आदमी को गिरफ्तार करके इंटेरोगेशन नहीं किया। अब सोनिया गांधी, राहुल गांधी की इंटेरोगेशन चल रही है दिल्ली के अंदर, अब बुला करके इंटेरोगेशन। भाई ये तो क्या है, बुला करके पूछताछ आप कर रहे हो, आप कस्टडी में लो ना, आप 14 दिन की कस्टडी में लीजिए, आप एक्यूज्ड बनाइए। और ये काम जब होता है जब आप बंदा उसको मर्डर की दिशा में ले जाता है। अब कानून की जो
बिल्कुल,
भाषा जानते हैं वो जानते हैं, लेकिन सुसाइड की भी रिपोर्ट वो पेश नहीं कर रहे। वो इसलिए नहीं कर रहे क्योंकि उनको डर है। अभी कल देख लो, कल 3-3 ट्रेंड चल रहे थे ट्विटर पे, आज देख लो आज 4-4 ट्रेंड चल रहे हैं। तो अब जब ये इतना बड़ा मूवमेंट है तो ये लोग क्या है कि भाई अब तो ये कहना बंद कर दीजिए सीबीआई सीबीआई, सीधे भारत सरकार का नाम लीजिए भाई। ये
बिल्कुल,
डायरेक्ट इसमें ये कोई मतलब वो नहीं है। सरकार को तो मजे आ रहे हैं कि उनका कोई नाम ही नहीं ले रहा, सीबीआई सीबीआई कर रहे हैं सब लोग।
बिल्कुल,
इसके लिए जिम्मेवार है तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिस के। मैं यहाँ और कहूंगा, इसमें कई लोगों ने अपने जोर लगाए हैं। सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी ने लेटर लिखा था प्राइम मिनिस्टर को, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने फिर लेटर लिखा था सीबीआई को, और सीबीआई ने फिर जवाब दिया था स्वामी को।
हुँ,
उस लेटर की कॉपी मैंने सारे चैनलों को दिखाई है, और उसमें प्रोफेशनल इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहे हैं, हम इन इन जगहों पे गए हैं वहाँ। अरे यार, तुम कहीं भी गए हो, चाहे तुम अपनी रिपोर्ट पेश करो और लोगों का जो है उसको हटाइए आप, जो धुंध छाई हुई है। अब दूसरी बात मैं आपको बता दूं, सबसे बड़ी चीज है मंशा। जब मंशा होती है तो 30 साल पुरानी रिपोर्ट भी निकाल के रख दी जाती है। मंशा नहीं होती तो चाहे कितने भी पक्के सबूत हों, वो रिपोर्ट रखते ही नहीं है। सबसे बड़ा यहाँ पे ये समझ लीजिए। अब कुछ
या
लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि भाई ये इतने दिन हो गए, तो कुछ लोगों के मन में कमजोरी आ जाती है, वो बेवजह के सुसाइड मारने लगते हैं।
बिल्कुल,
वो कह रहे हैं कि भाई सबूत, बहुत से लोग ये कहने लगते हैं इसमें सबूत नहीं है, ये नहीं है या वो नहीं है। अरे अरे भैया, 30-30 साल पुराने मामले निकाल कर ये सबूत पेश करके उनमें जो है वो सजाएं हुई हैं। अब शशि थरूर के मामले में जो है वो कितना पुराना मामला था, और उखाड़ करके उसको जो है किया गया उस कोर्ट के अंदर। ऐसे
बिल्कुल।
बहुत सारे मामले हैं, मैं यहाँ गिनवा सकता हूँ जिनको। अब ये जो जेसिका लाल वाला मामला था, जेसिका लाल वाले मामले में बरी कर दिया गया था बंदों को, लेकिन बाद
हुँ।
में 25 साल की जेल हुई कि नहीं हुई बताइए? सबके सामने है, कैसे हो गई भाई
नहीं,
बाद में?
निधि जी, आपको मैं ये पूछ रही थी क्योंकि जब हमने कुछ लोगों से बात करी, जैसे एडवोकेट से बात करी, कई और लोगों से बात करी जो कि इस केस पे भी काम इनडायरेक्टली कर रहे थे। तो कई लोग तो यही कह रहे थे कि जो फर्स्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन थी, वो गड़बड़ हो गई। जो सबूत हैं, वो मिटाए गए हैं और कोर्ट तो है वो सबूत को ही मानता है। और जब सबूत ही नहीं है, क्योंकि फर्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन में ही घोटाला कर दिया है, पूरा घर-वर सब इधर-उधर कर दिया है, तो कहाँ से कौन सब, और फिर जो सबूत लेने वाले हैं, जो सीबीआई, वो ही चार्जशीट तक नहीं लगाई, तो ये केस तो कहीं अंदर डब्बे के अंदर बंद है, और वो डब्बे की चाबी कहीं समुद्र में फेंक दी है, और कहीं उस चाबी का कोई है नहीं, तो बेसिकली, और पता नहीं परिवार को कितनी मुश्किलों से निकलना, ये दौर है उनका, कि मुझे नहीं पता कि वो किस तरीके से ये चीज़ें हैंडल कर रहे हैं। बट डेफिनिटली कहीं न कहीं ये केस का कहीं डायरेक्शन नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं, और लोग आज जंतर-मंतर बैठे हैं, कोई कलकत्ता में बैठा है, कोई दिल्ली में बैठा है, कोई बॉम्बे में बैठा है, कोई कर रहा है, इधर-उधर कर रहे हैं लोग। बट जितनी तादाद पे ये इन्फॉर्मेशन, जो लोग बैठे हैं बाहर, जो बैठे हैं, जो इस केस पे अपना धमगढ़ लगाकर, वो तो सो रहे हैं, वो तो सो रहे हैं। और हम लोग और आप लोग जो ना फैमिली से रिलेटेड हैं, ना ये केस से रिलेटेड हैं, ना हम कुछ कर सकते हैं, हम बात कर रहे हैं। तो आप बताइए इस बात पे कि कौन, ये जो आप बोल रहे हैं जसिका लाल का जो एग्ज़ाम्पल दे रहे हैं, ये लोग तो ऑलरेडी उसके अंदर थे, जिन्होंने, वो उनकी सिस्टर तो वो अलाइव थी। यहाँ पर तो जब वो थे, जिनकी जब डेथ हुई, तो उनका तो कुछ कोई था ही नहीं उनके साथ, और जो थे साथ में, वो तो कहते हैं हमें कुछ पता ही नहीं है। तो कैसे ये सब चीज़ों को उखाड़ा जाएगा? मैं तो बिल्कुल, कहते हैं ना, भूल-भुलैया वाली पहेली लगती है ये हमें। तो और अब 2 साल तो हो ही गए हैं, हमारे आँखों की बात है, ये बॉलीवुड स्टोरी तो है नहीं, ये तो रियल स्टोरी है। इस रियल स्टोरी में कोई बॉलीवुड मसाला डालने की कोशिश कर रहा है, ये लगता है।
देखिए, मैं आपसे एक बात कहूँगा, जो आपने सवाल कहा कि कुछ लोगों ने, कहते हैं किसी के अमल का हिसाब क्या देते, किसी
जी।
के अमल का हिसाब क्या देते, और सवाल सारे गलत थे, जवाब क्या देते। जो बाहर इन्वेस्टिगेटर बैठे हैं, उनको किसने नियुक्त किया है? किसी ने नियुक्त नहीं किया है। और उनकी इन्फॉर्मेशन कितनी ऑथेंटिक है, ये इस पे कोई कुछ नहीं कह सकता। पहली बात तो ये है कि हमारा कहना यहाँ पे ये है, आखिर काम किसको करना है बताइए। मैं आपसे कहूँ, कोई माँ किसी बच्चे को जन्म देने वाली है और 4 लोग उसके आसपास बैठे हैं, जन्म किसको देना है बताइए आप। थाना जी, आप बताइए, जन्म किसको देना है? उस माँ को जन्म देना हो जो 4 आसपास बैठे हैं, उनको जन्म देना है। उसे मदद थिएटर के अंदर होंगे, ऑपरेशन थिएटर के अंदर सिर्फ डॉक्टर अलाउड होते हैं, कोई भी प्राइवेट आदमी अलाउड नहीं होता है। बताइए आप मुझे। तो जो काम है असली, जो होना है, वो किसको करना है? वो भारत सरकार को लेना है वो निर्णय, सीबीआई को नहीं लेना। सीबीआई भारत सरकार के अंडर में काम करती है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिस के अंडर को रिपोर्टिंग है उसकी, उसके डायरेक्टर की। और इसमें जो लोग जहां जंतर मंतर पे बैठे, जो रामलीला मैदान में बैठे, वो 1 या 2 दिन बैठ के चले गए यहाँ से। अगर इसको लंबा मूवमेंट बनाते, अभी एक बात बताओ, किसान कोई छोटी मोटी चीज है क्या हिंदुस्तान में? उनको एक साल बैठना पड़ गया, तुम्हारा क्या हाल होगा बताइए आप मुझे।
बिल्कुल।
चीजों को समझने की कोशिश कीजिए आप। दूसरी बात यह है, मैं और भी आपको थोड़ा सा इसमें ब्रीफ कर दूं।
जी।
देखिए कि जब सारा सिस्टम ही, कहते हैं कि जब पूरी कायनात ही आपको झुकाने में लग जाए, पूरा सिस्टम ही आपको जो है गलत साबित करने में लग जाए, तो मैं एक शेर कहूंगा, वो झूठ भी बोल रहा था तो इस अंदाज से कि मैं यकीन ना करता तो क्या करता। झूठ को ऐसे बोला जाता है, आप यकीन करने लग जाए। आर्टिकल लिख दें टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में, चेतन भगत ने इंडियंस की मेंटल हेल्थ को लेकर, सुशांत की मेंटल हेल्थ को लेकर के लिखे खूब। चैनलों पे आधे घंटे की रिपोर्ट चल रही है, कैसे ये सुसाइड ही है, ये साबित करने के लिए। दो, और अभी तो आगे सेलिब्रिटी जिसने अब तक इसको मर्डर बोला, उसके मुंह से ये बुलवाया जाएगा पैसे दे के, तू कह दे कि ये सुसाइड है, ताकि लोगों को बिलीव हो जाए। और मैं इसमें और बता दूं आपको, रिया चक्रवर्ती पे जो चार्जशीट है वो ड्रग्स के केस में है, सुशांत की डेथ के केस में नहीं है।
बिल्कुल।
और वो उसमें तुषार मेहता पेश हुए हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, हालांकि उसमें ये पूरी एक्टिव तरीके से काम कर रहे हैं। इनकी रणनीति ये है कि रिया चक्रवर्ती को आप जेल करा दो तो लोग शांत हो जाएंगे, और बाकी इसमें कुछ भी कर लेना। तो रणनीति ये है कि लोगों को शांत करने के लिए कुछ तो करना है, तो इन्होंने फिर तरीका है, उसके हिसाब से काम चल रहा है। मैं इसमें थोड़ा सा और कहूंगा, ये एक ऐसी लड़ाई है, आज तक जितनी भी लड़ाई लड़ी गई है उसमें उसकी परिवार आगे आकर के लीड करता, लीड भी नहीं करता तो कम से कम वो जो है उसमें आगे आकर के मीडिया में बीच बीच में जब भी कोई बड़ा मामला होता है तो बीच बीच में बात जरूर करता है। ये पहला मामला है जो लीडरलेस चल रहा है। आप चीजों को समझिए, अब सरकार से कौन बात करे बताइए, कोई प्रतिनिधि भी तो होना चाहिए। एक है बहुत बड़ी और वो कोई डिमांड कर रही है, तो कोई नुमाइंदा सरकार भेज दे, उससे कोई बात भी तो करे, कोई नुमाइंदा तो चाहिए उनका, और जिनका नुमाइंदा ही नहीं है उनसे किससे बात होगी बताइए आप लोग। हर जगह भाई आपका प्रतिनिधि चाहिए, आप कितनी भी बड़ी ताकत हो चाहे, अगर आपका नुमाइंदा नहीं है तो आपको जो है कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है। अब हमारा यूनाइटेड नेशन देखो कितना बड़ा देश है, यूनाइटेड नेशन में हमारा एक नुमाइंदा है, एक वोट है हमारी, बताइए 138 करोड़ लोगों की। तो इसीलिए आपका जो है लीडरशिप चाहिए। और दूसरी बात यह है, बगैर सारथी के रथ चला करते हैं कहीं बताइए? अर्जुन अपने आप भाग लेता है उसको, कभी भी युद्ध नहीं, सारथी श्री कृष्ण नहीं होते थे, तो सारथी जबरदस्त चाहिए। अब वो सारथी इन्होंने विकास सिंह बना रखे। विकास सिंह को एक बार तो उन्होंने जोश दिखाया था, उसके बाद उन्होंने कोई, जब उन पे इतना बड़ा पद है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बार एसोसिएशन के प्रेसिडेंट है, बताइए हिंदुस्तान में, बताओ एडवोकेटों का इससे बड़ा पद नहीं होता। अगर इतना बड़ा आदमी भी अगर जो है दोनों हाथ करे हुए है, इसका मतलब ये है कि जो है वही बात है कि वो सरकार के सामने सर किए हुए का उसे सरकार के खिलाफ जाना नहीं चाहा। हमें पूछ लीजिए, हम यही बता देते हैं आपके सामने। जो डीडीसी है, दिल्ली क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन है, उसका इलेक्शन ये विकास सिंह लड़ रहा था, इनका जो एडवोकेट बना बैठा। और शुरुआत जब हुई थी उस वक्त, देखिए मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ, इसमें क्या है, जितने भी लोग जुड़े हुए हैं वे सारे एक खास विचारधारा से हैं, और इसलिए हम जो है ये बात कह रहे हैं कि पूरे वर्ल्ड वाइड मूवमेंट तो खड़ा हो गया। अब इनमें क्या है कि कुछ कमर्शियल लोग भी हैं। अगर आप मान लीजिए मैं कल को मैं तैयार हो जाऊं, सबको इकट्ठा करूंगा, लेकिन सबकी ईगो भी तो इतनी बड़ी है ना, उसे शांत करो।
बिल्कुल
ठीक है। अब हम आरएसएस में एक बात सिखाई जाती है, इदम राष्ट्राय इदम नियमम, ये सब राष्ट्र का है, मेरा नहीं है। आर्य समाज के अंदर हर हवन के हर मंत्र में ये बोला जाता है, इदम राष्ट्र, जो है उसका जो इदम नियमम, कि ये मेरा नहीं है। आदमी को जब संगठन के अंदर अपने आप को छोटा बनाना पड़ता है।
बिल्कुल सही।
और जब ये कहते हैं, मैं आपको बता दूं, एक छोटी सी बात कहूं, डॉक्टर कुमार विश्वास कहते हैं कि जो है बड़ा आदमी वो है जिससे आदमी छोटा महसूस ना करे, और कह रहे हैं कि बड़े हुए तो क्या हुआ, जैसे पेड़ पंक्ति को छाया नहीं और फल लगे थी दूर। चलिए मैं उसमें ना जा करके मैं फिर से वहीं आता हूँ। फरीदाबाद में इनकी सारी गाड़ी पहुंचा दी गई है, सुशांत सिंह राजपूत की जितनी भी लग्जरियस गाड़ियां हैं। ठीक है, मेरा टाइम बहुत एक्सीड हो रहा है, फिर भी 2 मिनट लूंगा। तो अब लड़ने के लिए देखो 4 बहनें हैं, वो बेचारी, उन्होंने कोई लड़ाई तो आज तक लड़ी नहीं है। इनमें एक लड़ सकती थी, उसने सेक्रीफाइस किया नहीं। वो कैलिफोर्निया रहती है, वो यहाँ चली आती, 1-2 साल यहाँ रहती, बिताती, अपने भाई के लिए समय दिखाती, तो अपने साथ इंडिया के कोने में जाती जाती कलकत्ता जाती, लोगों को मोबिलाइज करती। भारत सरकार की तरफ से फोन आता उसको, मैं आज बता रहा हूँ आपको। दूसरे फिर उनके पिताजी, वो भाई बूढ़े आदमी है, बीमार रहते हैं, वो कैसे लड़ाई लड़ेंगे भाई।
बिल्कुल।
और इस हिसाब से जो है, और बीच जो इनके जीजा हैं, वो एक जो है आईएएस ऑफिसर है, वो लड़ तो रहे हैं लेकिन वो पीछे से लड़ रहे हैं, आगे आकर के वो भी लड़ सकते, सरकारी नौकरी कर रहे हैं। मैंने आपको सारा मामला बता दिया। और जो है एक बार जब आपको कमजोरी पता लगे ना सरकार में कहीं पे भी, तो फिर उसमें चीजें आगे बढ़ नहीं पाती हैं। और आपकी मजबूती देखो, मजबूती आपकी ये है कि इतने लोग आपके पूरी दुनिया में जुड़े हुए हैं, इस वजह से तो रिपोर्ट पेश नहीं कर रहे। नहीं, रिपोर्ट अब तक तो क्लोजर की दे देते कि ये सुसाइड है और कोई कुछ नहीं कर पाता, लेकिन डर के मारे उसे नहीं दे रहे। तो इसमें यही हो रहा है कि 2 स्टेप फॉरवर्ड 2 स्टेप बैकवर्ड, सिचुएशन ऑकवर्ड। और मैं
सही बोल रहे हैं।
मैं तुम्हें बता दूं इसमें देखिए एक बात कहते हैं, अब मैं क्या कहूँ, ये कहते हैं कि ख्याल जिसका था मुझे वो ख्याल में मिला मुझे, और सवाल का जवाब में मिला मुझे। तो भाई सवाल का जवाब तो सवाल में मौजूद है। और जो कमर्शियल, कुछ लोग इसमें कमर्शियल आ गए बीच में, मतलब जो
जी,
पैसा कमाने का काम है ये। अब देखो मीडिया में नहीं आया पिछले बहुत, लगभग इस पूरे साल में नहीं आया।
जी,
एक बार दो बार आया हूँ, अपीयरेंस दी है, लाइव पे भी नहीं गया कहीं पे भी। मतलब मैं इस मामले पे नहीं बात करता, मैं तो सभी इश्यूज पे बात करता हूँ, मैं पूरा ओवरऑल बता रहा हूँ अपना, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि भाई मैं इसी मामले में बात कर रहा हूँ।
जी, जी, जी,
लेकिन बहुत से लोगों ने इस मामले को इसलिए छोड़ दिया क्योंकि उनके पॉलिटिकल करियर बनाने हैं अपने।
सही है।
ठीक है ना, छोड़ने का मतलब ये है कि देखो बीच बीच में जब भी जयंती आए, पुण्य स्मृति आए, याद कर लेना चाहिए। अब कोई जब लाला उसको पकड़ेंगे, हम तो जब भी फोन लगाते हैं उसको सीधे पहुंच जाते हैं। तो उसकी माँ
बिल्कुल,
है, उसकी देखो मैं एकदम, वो आ रही है वो भी जुड़ जाती है इसमें। एक ऐसा मूवमेंट खड़ा हो जाता है कि सब केसों में जो है एक पैनल बनता, और फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट बना करके सारे मामले खुल करके सबके सब मामलों में नए सिरे से जांच
बिल्कुल।
होती
किसकी
है,
किसकी माँ
और जल्द
बोल
से
रहे हैं
जल्द
आप?
किया जाता है कि 6 महीने में
किसकी माँ
फांसी पे।
बोल रही है? मंजीत जी, सुनाई
जिया
नहीं
खान
दिया।
की माँ की बात,
जिया
जिया
खान, ओके। हाँ,
जिया
नहीं,
खान
हाँ,
की माँ की बात कर।
वो अपने बेटी के लिए काफ़ी लड़ रही हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा अकेली ही लड़ रही हैं, जैसे आपको पता ही है।
वो वही बात है, हमने तो बता दिया आपको, लड़ने वाला अकेला भी। देखिए एक चीज मैं आपको बता दूं, ये हजारों सालों से हम लोग लड़ाई लड़ते आ रहे हैं, और हम लोग जो सरवाइव कर पाए हैं, कभी हमारा नेतृत्व छत्रपति शिवाजी ने किया, कभी महाराणा प्रताप ने किया, कभी शहीद आजम भगत सिंह, चंद्रशेखर आजाद, सुभाष चंद्र बोस ने किया, कभी पृथ्वीराज चौहान ने किया। तो हम लड़ते रहे, इसलिए हम जीवित रहे। अगर हम लड़ना भूल जाते, ये कहते हैं कि आप पहले की बात, एक चलो मुझे कहना नहीं चाहिए फिर कह रहा हूं मैं, भाई कई लड़ाई कई लेवल पे आती है। एक तो जमीनी लड़ाई होती है,
हुँ,
यानी कलेक्टर के प्रदर्शन करना या रेल वगैरह करना। दूसरी लड़ाई
जी,
होती है स्तर पे, मीडिया में पीआर के माध्यम मामले को गर्म रखना, मामले को गर्म। तीसरी लड़ाई लीगल होती है। लीगल में क्या है कि अगर आपके खिलाफ मामला जा रहा है तुरंत पिटीशन डालना, मल्टीपल यहाँ से वहां से अगर बात जा रही है उसको ठीक
हुँ,
करना। आप भाई इसकी बहन पे केस है, सुशांत प्रियंका पे, अब लग गया केस तो। लेकिन जिन्होंने केस लगाया उन पे उल्टा केस लगना चाहिए किसी के द्वारा, वो भागता
जी,
फिरेगा फिर। तो कहने का मतलब ये लीगल काम है। ठीक है। और भाई जो है चौथा होता है सरकार के स्तर पे, जो सरकार से नेगोशिएशन करे, उसकी लीडर्स। चार तरीके से कोई लड़ाई लड़ी है, बहुत सारे आंदोलन देखे हैं, खुद गए भी हैं उनमें। तो अपने अनुभव के आधार पर आदमी को ऐसा लीडरशिप होनी चाहिए जिसको पॉलिटिक्स की भी समझ हो, जिसको लीगल की समझ भी हो, जिसको मीडिया की समझ भी हो। ऐसा अनाड़ी नहीं होना चाहिए जिसको केवल जो है खाली सबूत इकट्ठा कर मैं ये कर लिया, अनाड़ी 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 आज से ही टाइम पास करते हैं।
बिल्कुल,
जीतने वाले लोग चाहिए जिन्होंने पहले केस जिन्होंने जीत के दिखा रखे हैं, वे लोग केस के अंदर होने चाहिए। और हर
बिल्कुल,
मामले में आप देख लीजिए, जितने भी देश में बड़े बड़े मामले जीते गए हैं उनमें खिलाड़ियों को लाइन पे लगाया गया है। हाँ ऐसे करते फिरते आदमी किसी को जानता नहीं मानता नहीं, कहाँ कहाँ से निकल निकल के आ जाते हैं मुंह उठा करके, है ना।
बिल्कुल,
और मैं ये हूँ और मैं फलाना हूँ, ये कोई जाने नहीं माने नहीं। और फिर वो लोग ये कहते हैं, और फलाने को नहीं जानते, इसको नहीं जानते, अरे उसको जान के कोई वो मतलब कोई पृथ्वीराज चौहान है, कोई शहीद भगत सिंह है वो। तो कोई बात नहीं, मैं हम उसमें नहीं जाना चाहते, उनसे कुछ नहीं हो रहा। वो क्या है कि सिर्फ लोगों को मैं जो है अपना एक क्या कहते हैं कि उनको ऐसे उनके दिमाग के जैसी ऑडियंस मिल जाती है। लेकिन सेंसिबल लोग जो हैं वो कोर्ट की तरफ नजर रखते हैं। और मैं आखिर में सिर्फ एक ही बात कहूंगा, गम की अंधेरी रात में दिल को ना बेकरार कर, सुबह जरूर आएगी, सुबह का इंतजार कर। बस मैं
बहुत
यही,
बढ़िया
आज
मंजीत
मेरी
जी, आप
तबीयत ऐसी है।
इतने नहीं, मैं आपसे एक शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ, आपने अपने दिल की बात बताई यहाँ पर और आप अभी भी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक हैं कि जैसे आपने अभी लास्ट में बोला है कि भई ज़रूर कहते हैं ना सुबह आएगी। और सूरज की लाली हमें भी नज़र आएगी एंड आई होप कि आप सही निकलें और हमारी जो जुडिशरी है और जो जो कुछ भी हमारे लोग हैं, जो इन सब चीज़ों पे अपना झंडा गाड़ कर जो इंडिया का जो तिरंगे को आगे फैलाना चाहते हैं, पहले जो घर के जो बंदे हैं, जो घर के हमारे अपने लोग हैं, जिनके साथ ये कार्यात हुआ है, उनकी फैमिलीज़ को एक तसल्ली। आपने बहुत कुछ बोला चीज़ों में, बट मैं एक तरीके से बोलूँगी कि फैमिली में जो कुछ जितना वो जानते हैं, वो करते हैं। क्योंकि अपना जब गुज़रता है, तो सभी को चोट मिलती है। उनकी जितनी क्षमता है, वो ज़रूर अपनी क्षमता से इस केस की तरफ बढ़ा रहे हैं अपने कदम। बट जो पॉलिटिकली ये कैसे करना है अच्छा, शायद उनको आइडिया है या नहीं, ये तो उन्हीं को ही ज़्यादा पता है। बट मेरे को यहाँ तक इतना उम्मीद है कि ये लोग अपनी तरीके से जितना इनसे हो सकता है, ये ज़रूर कर रहे होंगे, क्योंकि जब अपना खून ऐसे जाता है, तो कोई ऐसे बैठता नहीं है तसल्ली से। और हम जो पराए हैं, जो इतना हम अपने घरों से उठकर आ रहे हैं, तो वो लोगों को तो कहीं न कहीं बहुत दर्द अंदर से है। तो मैं तो च मेरे को यकीन है कि वो कुछ ना कुछ अपने समझ से जो अच्छा हो सकता है वो कर रहे हैं, तो मैं हमेशा इस तरीके से फैमिली का सपोर्ट ही करूँगी, क्योंकि मुझे पता है जब अपने लोग जाते हैं तो बहुत दुःख होता है और अपने आप में तसल्ली भी लेनी पड़ती है और लोगों के सामने आना भी पड़ता है। तो ये वैसे ही कुछ सिनेरियो है, तो बड़ा ही कठिन-सा काम है, उनके लिए भी, फैमिली वालों के लिए भी और हम सब के लिए जो सच की राह में अपनी उम्मीद बनाए रखे हैं। तो मंजीत जी थैंक यू सो मच आप आए और अपने तबीयत का आप ध्यान रखें और
धन्यवाद,
चाहूँगी कि
धन्यवाद।
हम मिलें, अपनी तबीयत को ज़बरदस्त बनाएँ, तो हम मिलेंगे और आपका बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया आने का इस फ़ोरम पे। थैंक यू सो मच। आप हमेशा मेरी
धन्यवाद,
लाज
धन्यवाद।
रखें। थैंक यू मंजीत जी। थैंक यू सो मच। टेक टेक केयर टेक केयर। सो नाउ मैं अभी मैं एक्चुअली बिफोर आई टेक अ न्यू गेस्ट जो बहुत ही शुरू से मतलब ये जो गेस्ट है मेरे लिए बहुत स्पेशल है। इनको मुझे लगता है सारे ही एसएसआरियंस जानते हैं और इन्होंने बड़ी शिद्दत से एसएसआर की इस लड़ाई में अपनी लड़ाई रखी है, अपनी बात रखी है। मैं इनको बहुत पहले से जानती हूँ, शुरू से ही हम मिले, हम बिछड़े, फिर मिले, हमारा ऐसा रिश्ता उनके साथ है। बट मैं हमेशा से जो अपने दिल की सुनते हैं, मैं उन उन लोगों से मेरी हमेशा से कनेक्ट रहता है। तो ये कुछ ऐसी ही लेडी हैं, जिनको मैं नेक्स्ट बुलाऊँगी। और मैं देबाशीष पटनायक जी से बोलूँगी कि देबा जी मैं आपके जो कमेंट्स हैं, मैं इनको पूरी तरह से पढ़ना चाहती हूँ बिफोर आई आंसर यू और मैं बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि आपने इतने शिद्दत से सारे कमेंट्स लिखे हैं। मैं सभी लोगों का यहाँ पर शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ। मेरे पास एक और गेस्ट आ रहे हैं तो मैं उनको लूँगी, बट सभी को मैं सबके कमेंट्स पढ़ूँगी, तो ये आप नाराज़ ना होइए कि मैंने आपके कमेंट्स नहीं पढ़े बट मैं देख रही हूँ कि दीपक जी, प्रीत जी, प्रीतपाल जी, अम, अ, शांध्या तिवारी जी और ऑफ कोर्स देबासी जी भी बोल रहे हैं और मुनिका जी भी हैं और कुलदीप जी भी हैं, कश्यप जी भी हैं, बहुत सारे लोग जुड़े हैं, मैं सबके नाम बोलूँगी। मधु जी भी हैं, किरण जी भी हैं, रॉकी जी हैं और शशि जी हैं, नंदा जी भी हैं। सो बहुत सारे और भी लोग हैं जो जुड़े हैं तो मैं सबके कमेंट्स पढ़ूँगी। तो प्लीज़ आप मेरे मैं अभी नहीं ये आई थी अभी, तो ये लवली चौबे जी हैं जिनको मैं बुलाना चाहूँगी। तो वो आएँगी यहाँ पर एंड सो दैट इज़ व्हाई मैं उनकी वेट कर रही थी। मैं उनको अभी देखती हूँ। वो निकली हैं यहाँ से, तो बट मैं सभी के कमेंट्स पढ़ूँगी एंड यहाँ पर जो मैं बोलना चाह रही थी कि हम लोग सब जो जुड़े हैं आज या अभी लवली जी आ गई हैं, मैं उनको लेती हूँ साथ में। हाय
हेलो
लवली।
सान्या।
सो गुड टू सी यू एंड मुझे पता है कि आप भी बहुत स्ट्रगल कर रही हैं अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ में। आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल उसके बावजूद आप यहाँ आई हैं और सुशांत के मुद्दे से जुड़ी हैं। मुझे पता है मैंने सबको यही बताया कि आप शुरू से ही एक पहली लेडी थी जिनसे मेरी वार्तालाप हुई और आप काफ़ी इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल योर पर्सनल इश्यूज आप जटी रही, जुड़ी रही, और आज फिर आप आई हैं। तो लवली जी, आप बताइए कि मेरा एक ही मानना है, जो मेरे से आपसे भी पूछना होगा कि बड़े सारे लोगों का अलग-अलग मायना है। शुरू में बहुत लोग आए, करोड़ों की तादाद पे लोग आए, और धीरे-धीरे, धीरे-धीरे वो जो कहते हैं ना, तादाद कम-कम होती रही। और कई बार ऐसे भी लगा लोगों को, मुझे पता है कि बहुत कि होपलेसनेस फीलिंग सी आई कि हम क्या कहाँ पहुँच गए हैं। और आज ये जो आपसे पहले जो मंजीत जी आए, उन्होंने यही कहा है कि चार्जशीट ही नहीं है, तो ये केस तो कहीं है ही नहीं। तो उसके बारे में आप कुछ अगर बोलेंगी?
सो पहले तो लाइक अगर हम सोच के देखें तो दिस इज सच अ ब्यूटिफुल थिंग क्रिएटेड बाय सुशांत सिंह राजपूत कि व्हेनेवर जब कोई गुजर जाता है तो जनरली तो हम फिर अपनी अपनी ज़िंदगी में लग ही जाते हैं, लेकिन ये एक बंदा ये जब गया तो कुछ तो कॉन्शियसनेस लोगों में जगा के गया कि एवरीबडी स्टार्टेड डिगिंग, watching his interviews, looking at his posts, watching his movies कि ये बंदा बोलता क्या था. For me it was like he was such a big superstar. अरे धोनी आई, छिछोरे आई, केदारनाथ आई थी, राबता आई थी. I was like यार 2013 में ही डेब्यूट, 2019 में तो तक ही काम किया था, 2020 में तो लॉकडाउन ही हो गया था. 6 साल में तुमने 11 मूवीज की है और हर मूवी में यू आर प्लेइंग द सेंट्रल कैरेक्टर. इमेजिन राजकुमार राव इज सच क्रिटिकल अक्लेम्ड पर्सन जिसने डेब्यू किया राजकुमार राव के साथ, एंड स्टिल आफ्टर दैट ही वाज द वन हु गॉट नोटिस्ड बाय एवरीवन. पूरी इंडस्ट्री की जैसे पहली पसंद बन गया. एवरी प्रोड्यूसर डायरेक्टर वांटेड टू वर्क विद हिम. सो फॉर मी इट वाज लाइक the first reaction was, why would he commit suicide? Means somebody who has everything, why? और एक तरह से मुझे एकदम से जो फीलिंग यही आई कि अरे इसने मतलब ही कमिटेड सुइसाइड. इतने इसके फैंस थे, मैं इसको इतना अप्रिशिएट करती थी, मैंने कभी जाके क्यों नहीं चैट में लिखा कि सुशांत आई एम योर फैन और मैंने तुम्हारी ये मूवी देखी एंड इट हेल्प्ड मी इन दिस वे. Because in 2019 I was diagnosed and I was dealing with so much, and I watched both his movies Kedarnath and Chichore that year, and it was truly inspiring. और मुझे अंदर से यही लगा. And then when I went and I started reading his posts, all I could get was, no, this guy cannot commit suicide. From his every post it came out like, if you have how you can manage any situation. Like, I am forgetting exactly what he said, but this is what he said, that in every post, in every interview, he was a fighter. He said that I'm never scared, I'm not, like, I started from negative, that is what he said. So at
हुँ,
any point in time I'm ready to start from scratch. So mean why? एक्टिंग नहीं होगी तो ये कर लूंगा, ये नहीं होगा तो वो कर लूंगा, एंड ही वाज रेडी फॉर एवरीथिंग.
हुँ,
सो एंड ही डिडंट हैव दैट ग्रीड. ही ऑलवेज सेड, आई एम नॉट वर्किंग फॉर मनी. सो लाइक द वर्ड्स ऑफ हिज सॉन्ग ओनली, तेरे नाम की जोत ने सारा हर लिया तमस मेरा.
हाँ, हाँ,
So
हाँ।
all the negativity, everything. And I mean, I was just talking to someone and I told them that this guy must have done something. कि imagine हम धोनी सर्च करते हैं तो सुशांत की फोटो आती है, हम केदारनाथ सर्च करते हैं तो सुशांत की फोटो आती है. So I mean, the movies also that he did, his filmography, it was like destiny. It was destined कि छोटी सी फिल्मोग्राफी होगी but it will have this big impact.
हुँ,
And the way he talked, he said, he used that Mahatma Gandhi quote where he said
हुँ,
that first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight with you,
हुँ,
and then you win. And the
हुँ,
funny thing is that you were never bothered because you're not doing it for their approval. or appreciation. You're doing it for entirely different reason. Like he was doing it for his passion. He said that I'm not doing it for money. And everything that he said guides us also. So when we are here, first they ignored us, then they laughed at us. Now they are fighting with us. But and our win, when we say we win, our win is that we do not lose our ground. We hold our ground and we just be here. That you cannot just push us out, you cannot throw us out. We will be here because we are doing it for a completely different reason than they think, these people who are trying to push us out. They don't understand that why are there these many people for Sushant. Why? They are just shocked. What did he do? That is what I said. Bin Ranveer Singh thought that maybe because he played a cricketer, so I will also play a cricketer. Maybe Ranbir Kapoor thought that maybe because he played a daku, so I will play a daku. But no, it was his truth, his honesty, the humble, like his, even the vulnerability that he had, people saw through the simplicity. And we, everyone who's been here has been harassed, has been targeted, but we have, again, we have that clarity in his words only. If you know the why of, like, why you are here, why you are doing this, you can just, like, you don't need anything else. So we know the why. It is very simple. It is justice for SSR. We need to know the truth. We need to know that this happened to Sushant, but it should never ever happen to anyone else again. Like
Exactly.
somebody from our family, somebody from like a middle class, a kid, if he goes there to fulfill his dreams, this should not happen to him again.
I'm with you. And lovely, I remember जो आपने why बोला है, because मैंने भी like you both, I believe I can speak for myself and a bit of you, because काफी टाइम से हम लोग बाहर नहीं निकले हैं. So there was a kind of a reluctance in both you and me, that how do we approach and will people come on, you know? And by grace, by Sushant's you know, beautiful aura and will, you know, and as you rightly said, मैंने अपने ही question पूछा था that why I am so keen to come, and I am not really keen to come on board for anything else. My energies don't allow me, but the moment it is Sushant, somehow I get very energized. And the moment it is some kind of a common purpose, I get energized. Otherwise, hands full. I'm hands full. I have every single day I work. I have a family to take care. So I can understand the why that you were talking about. And most of all, that I committed to myself when I jumped into this, that what may come, I will not leave this trail of path to seek the justice and truth. What may come, the little drop in the ocean that I am today, and I will maintain the being a drop, because I don't have that more ability or a more resourcefulness right now within me. The little I have, I will continue with small steps and hope that my being a drop can, you know, help the ocean of love for this little boy who has been such a star, and as you said, so inspirational for many multi young talents, youth, women, older people, and a lot of older people saying that हमारा बेटा नहीं है तो हम इसको देखकर जिंदा रहते हैं. Lot of old mothers have spoken about this. So I think that why, as you said, was so important for me to come today. It was very courageous of me to come today and show my face, like आ गए हैं जी, उठकर फिर से बैठ गए हैं, you know, that kind of thing. But I really wanted to do this. This is for him and his family. His family, because I share their pain. I share their pain. I can understand to lose a star like him. A star not just for a Bollywood star, but as a human being. He was a true epitome of being a human being. And they lost a great human being as a family. And so I really share this pain. I can imagine if he was my son. I can imagine if he was my brother. I can imagine if he was my friend and beloved or whoever he was. It would have been a disaster to lose him. So I totally can imagine. Being emotional is my vibe, but it is not just being emotional, but also being understanding how important it is to, you know, fight for right kind of people. And I think he's the safest bet we have. If you can't fight for such a star or such a human being, then what can you do? What can you do? खरी अपने घर में दाल रोटी सब्जी लेकर आ सकते हो. That's it. This is all your life is, being like living like animals. खाना खाकर सो जाओ, खाना खाकर सो जाओ रोज. That's what my dog does. My cat does. So उनको खाना मिल जाता है, सो जाते हैं. But they go down and do their nature's call, and they come back again. This is all they do. So are we going to act like animals, or we have to be like human beings? Human beings fed with each other. Human beings think for each other. It doesn't matter we have rifts. We are people with egos. We are people with self, images that we built through our value systems. That's fine. Being in conflict is okay. But going above the conflict level and seeing that humanness and fighting for that is the real human. And that's what this man would have done. And that's why I'm here. So I have a lot of conflicts here during this SSRians. I can say it openly that conflicts has never been I would never shy away from conflicts. If I don't believe in something, I will never fight for it. But if I believe in that truth, I will fight and go above those conflicts. And that's what I've done. So I'm very grateful to you, Lovely, that you stand along with us, and you're a strong woman. I don't want to go into any personal things, but everybody knows who know you, that you're not just socially active, you're also personally fighting every single day of your life, and that's amazing. So you're a true star for Sushant. If he was alive, he would have definitely called you home. So this is my calling, because he's a guy with a lot of heart. So
So I will tell you, Sanya. So like you said, you started by saying कि भाई कुछ लोग ऐसे भी हो जो बोले ओ आज आप फिर आ गए उठ के. And look at you, there is no reason for you to appreciate me. We are only connected, what should I say, virtually. I haven't done anything but it's the goodness in you that you see, the goodness in me. And the other part is, it's the you have that clarity. That is why you understand that your voice is important, and equally my voice is also important. So someone from Sweden coming and raising their voice, putting their face on camera and saying I want justice, that's powerful. So just like that, one other person from San Jose coming and putting their face on camera and saying I want justice, that's important and that's powerful. And that is what whoever our opposition is, they're scared of, and they are trying to drive away people one by one. But we need to have that clarity that our voices have power, and we will be here. And anyone who actually is here for Sushant will appreciate the other SSRian also. They will just say that, you're equally important. We are all pieces of puzzle. It's not more, not less. Agar ek bhi, even if one single piece is missing, the picture is not complete. So if there is something that you are doing and I'm not able to do, I will say I appreciate that and I salute you for that. If there is something that I am doing and you're not able to do, you'd say that, oh, that's good that you are, but it's not more and never like less. And then you also talked about loss. But that I will just, there is this article by O.P. Singh. All the family got emotional and they all shared something. I will just share few lines from that article. He started by using this quote where he says, "Tell me how he died. I will tell you how he lived." So think that, like he's putting his question right out there, and he wrote very beautifully. And in the end, what he wrote is, "It needs all your strength to deal with the death of a young and famous person. The sense of loss is immense, and the option to just forget is not there." So, like,
Beautiful.
nobody can understand. We are still, but what the family is dealing with and how they're dealing with the loss, nobody can understand. He says that, how he put it, like, there is no option to, like, there will be a point that you've forgotten. There'll never be that point.
There will be never. That's so true. Because and that is why we have no I don't believe in criticism of anything, because everything someone is doing, we don't know the other side of the story. We don't know what are the things, because we have no truth with us. We have only got our conviction, and our conviction is our truth, but not anybody else's action, actions or thought process we can judge. We are not here to judge anyone. I don't believe in judging. The least I would judge is their family, because this is not a political agenda for them. It is their flesh and blood which they lost, and they have to carry it on to the rest of their lives until their graves, this whole pain. So this is not a task for us to talk. I can only say that I'm here for the family. I totally understand. The little, the less, the more, the aggravated, whatever they are doing, they're doing their best. I will want to believe that. I don't want to say anything less than that. And I also want to ask you one thing, that those people who have not got the possibility of coming and actively work on this mission for whatever reasons. I'm talking about the private ssrians now, because there is two-way sides. One is the political, one is the justice system, the police system, and then we are the private ssrians who are emotionally dragging themselves into the case, and who has respect for this young boy, who believe that these kind of things should not happen in our society. So these are different parameters to look at. But what I'm saying is, those people who, I mean, I feel I'm short of knowledge to talk about the system, because there is corruption, that I can very boldly say, that this is a corrupted society, political system, as well as judiciary system that we live in. That is the sour grape we have to eat with. But we still don't know what efforts have they come up with, not having to do anything. We still don't know, and we are not the part of that system. We don't understand that language, or neither I understand the codes and ethics of that language. I might have read a lot, thanks to Sushant. I read a lot of, I've understood lots about our police system, our judiciary, our political system, but still it's not enough for me to come and say anything against them. The only thing I demand is to at least come forward in an article, through a journalist who understand, through a political journalist, through a judicial journalist, to make us understand what's going on. And why would is this case closed? Because this case is not closed yet. This case is in a limbo. Now that is one side of the story. Other side is people like us. What do you have to tell to the people like that? We don't expect any of the private ssrians to do something every day, sit, because a lot of people say one has to be a leader, go down in jantar mantar, and go down in somewhere and here and there, and start doing some kind of stuff there. And I mean, of course, if people can do it, great, fantastic. But what is to be done? According to your sensibility, what do you have to say? Do you want to make the system alive by every day coming? How do we how do we go about it?
So, you know, I'll share what I believe. So, first of all, I mean, this is not something that happened for the first time. Ki the high and mighty, the rich and powerful, the privileged got together and decided to eliminate someone. We've seen number of cases. Now, what's common in all those cases? From where do these people get their power, entitlement that we will keep on committing these crimes and nothing will happen? So what they do is they commit the crime. FIRs are never registered. They, I mean, as we've seen in this case only, at some point Paramveer Singh came out and said that we were working on the instructions of our somebody. It's not like we were doing what is right. We were given instructions in the cases and we were doing that. So at least that part got exposed. I mean, this is the first time in our Indian judicial or place where a cop is coming out and saying that. So that happened at least. The other part is the common thing in every case is the family is targeted, harassed. There's so much pressure on them that they come out and say, oh, there was no foul play. Please leave us alone. Please leave us alone. Be it Divya Bharti, be it, we never saw Parveen Bobby's family questioning. We never saw Disha Salian's family, like example. So there are many. I mean, since they are not coming out, I also sometimes think, should we, Pista Dhakar is another name where the family came out and no foul play. Now I'm thinking that I think Mika Singh's manager, she died, their family came out and said, oh, no foul play. So the families immediately have to come out and say no foul play. Whatever is going on behind the scene, we don't know. Now in this case, the family, you see, they did what they did. At least first they saw They waited for the Mumbai police to do when they were not satisfied, they did file a case in Bihar. So, and then the Bihar police came, so we all know, and then the CBI came. Now, whatever is happening, but what is our role in this? People. So many people, first of all, Bollywood, people got angry. I got angry. I hear people got angry because when we see the negative PR around Sushant Singh Rajput that was deliberately created, and he's such a simple, honest, humble guy that people said, what are they doing? I mean, this is what they could do. I mean, this is the first time again we saw this, and we kind of out and out rejected Bollywood. So we are angry with them because they must have done something, that we need the truth to come out. So the family, I would say, needs our support. We need to be just standing there and saying, now the whoever these opposition are, they are trying very hard to create culprits out of the family, that let's pin everything on them. But this is our thing. Now whatever, again, whatever flaws the family has, whatever somebody did when they were in school or college or whatever, we don't care. You don't need to malign them, we don't care what they did. We Here is a father who lost his son and he's seeking justice. Here is a sister who lost her brother. Here is a brother-in-law who is seeking justice for his wife's brother. He says he's seen him since he was a kid and he loves him like that. Obviously they're all family, they have flaws, they might be we don't care. We just need to stand by them. And the other part is that, I mean, the most ridiculous one, that they are getting more attention, they are getting this, and we are not competing with the family. It's not a position held that oh, if I do good, I might become Sushant Singh Rajput's sister and we will fire her. No. Make it clear, she is the sister, and she is like the father, the sister, they are like doing whatever legally is possible. We have to be standing behind them, that all this people, janta, they support the family. We don't care what the PR comes out. First they were maligning Sushant Singh Rajput, now they are maligning the family. So whatever little bit flaws or whatever they are there, every family has that, every person has that. So do not try to make culprits out of them, because it's clear that the culprits are different from the family. At least we have to have that clarity. So that is as simple as that. So
Right.
the family is seeking justice, and they need to know that there are these many people who are supporting us. That's it here.
Absolutely, I'm with you. And then it's like, for me, it just feels that, um, it's more that these days when people, like, it's always like this. It goes upward trend and then it goes down, and then it might die out or it might just float like this. Now, Sushant's aura or strength has been so strong. I take this as that he's a strength behind that. Still people are coming out, and I don't know, to be honest, that will this have any, decent ending. Decent ending means that some kind of resolution, because the journey is not started, yet, because there is
Yeah.
no charge sheet. चार्ज शीट ही नहीं है तो केस ही नहीं है, केस ही नहीं है तो कुछ भी नहीं है, मतलब ना उसका सुसाइड बोल रहे हैं, बिकॉज कुछ भी नहीं बोल रहे अभी, इसको बिल्कुल लिम्बो में रखा हुआ है. सो व्हाट इज द थॉट यू हैव दैट, आई मीन, what does one, I mean, one should just wait and hope that one nice day everything will fall in place?
Yeah, I mean, when we started, I never thought that we'll be here 2 years from then and we'll still be talking about this. It seemed something will happen. I mean, I was just looking, even when the CBI came, uh, Shweta Singh Kirti's husband, Vishal Kirti, even he, one day he had, I think, posted on Instagram that, oh, it seems that we will see the culprits going to jail, or the case will be resolved very soon now. So it was in September 2020. And we all were thinking like that.
Hmm.
But look, it's 2 years now,
Hmm.
and it does feel, we feel desperate, we feel a little bit disappointed, we feel frustrated. It shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take that long. This 34-year-old guy, he lost his life, he's dead. And whoever did that, they are living their life. They are whatever, enjoying the perks, moving around, doing vacationing, clubbing, whatever they are doing. And I mean, people are asking for justice. So, I mean, again, that makes us question the intention and the like the, is there political will to
Hmm.
see justice for Sushant Singh Rajput, or they are just deliberately slowing it down, taking time to play with people's emotions, and later whatever outcome they decide. So I don't know. Again, Sanya, I don't know what will happen. Neither you, nobody knows. So all we can do is we hold our ground, we be here, and I'm angry with Bollywood, so I'm showing them that how dare you told Sushant Singh Rajput that he doesn't have fans? How
Hmm.
dare you told him? We love him, we'll make him God, we will talk about him, and we will keep on saying, I learned this from him. I will look at his posts, I will every day talk about his posts, I will every day retweet, I will do that. And I'm not going to go away from here. They are trying their best to push us out, and now, as you can see, they are making it a dirty place so
Hmm.
that simple people like us cannot survive here. I mean, even if you think about physically, you stand somewhere and they start throwing mud at you, you
Hmm.
will, little while you'll clean, and then you will say, "Bhai, yahan kyun khade rehna? Chalo, yahan se chale jate." So this is
Hmm.
what they are doing. This is what they are doing to us. So, but again, they do not know the resolve of common people. We have decided that we'll be here, and there is no, again, more or less, there is no written thing what you should do. I just say, I mean, I don't like anyone if somebody comes and shames someone that you did not tweet enough, you did not speak enough, you didn't. No, please, whatever you did, we are grateful. Whatever you did. So I also do whatever I can do. For me also, like, you are, like, if other people are efficient for 5 or 6 hours in a day, I'm efficient little bit less in a day. Sometimes I decide to, even if I'm feeling good, spend time with my family, take time away because of all the negativity. But again, I'm not going anywhere. When you say 1000 people want justice, don't say 999 because you're minusing me. I will always be here.
That's good.
I am that one person who will
Hmm.
be here.
I'm with you. So that is very clear, lovely, since you are here today. And I mean, like, as you said, that this goes out for everyone who are there one, or who are there 10 times, or who are there 100 times. Everything counts, what may come. And I mean, we are here not to play our ego clashes. We are here to actually come together as a team and work for one mission. So, leaving all our conflicts aside, I would, as you have also said, that we are one team working all around the world for the same mission that we want. Because it's not, as everybody would say, why you're after Sushant. A lot of people have spoken to me that also, that why you after Sushant. As you beginning, you said in the beginning that there are a lot of people who've passed away, young people who passed away. A lot of people even today, every day, are passing away. But you know what, you have to start somewhere, and I think Sushant was the right person to work along with. He because everything has its own leadership pace, and Sushant is the voice of all those people who went away voiceless, who are going in future also voiceless. Sushant is carrying that burden in him even after his death. That's the beauty about this soul, that when he was alive, he was standing for voiceless people, and when he's gone, he's still standing for voiceless people. And we are having that energy for him to stand for his voice. We people, Because if he was alive, as you said, I never tweeted him, or I never told him that, oh, I'm your fan. I didn't even know that I was his fan, to be honest with you. I mean, I thought he was a young guy. He was a very, energetic guy, lovely guy to watch. And I swear to God, with all my conscience, I don't watch Bollywood movies. And after Sushant has gone, I haven't watched one single Bollywood movie. One single. After it's 2 years now, a lot of people ask me, do you want to watch it? I said, I'm not interested. I rather spend those 3 hours into making some food for my family or whatever, or walking my dog, something like that. But I don't want to watch. I don't know, I just feel so, I don't want to betray Sushant's energy. Maybe he's not his expectation from us, but I definitely don't feel good until this case is resolved. And I would, as I have committed to people, that you will always see my pretty little face whenever there is Sushant's case, on and off, not maybe every day. And at the same time, I have committed to myself that I will not watch Bollywood movies until this case is resolved. And I'm going to stand by it. So that is something which I wanted to declare it on the net, just for my own purpose, not for others, but to give myself the strength to follow it through till the end. And that makes me very hopeful that, because I don't want to not watch Bollywood movies, I hope, because of I want to watch it desperately, I hope this case is resolved. So you can take it anyway, whatever way you want. I want this case resolved. That's it. And I hope that people who are sitting on the shelf there, trying to act upon, doing good for all the system, making laws, and making sure that the country is run, in conjunction with our constitution. I hope these people have some kind of conscience. I am aware that they have much more important things to do. I've also heard that also, that they don't have only one case of Sushant to clear out. It's not about one case, it's about many such cases. So they have to dig their faces into such cases, apart from the political agendas. I heard that, I don't know if I want to say this so openly, but I've been hearing that, oh, this is the party now, they want to come in 2024, so they're going to get this thing across, and maybe Sushant case can come again because of this whole thing. But I find this so, I don't know. I mean, if they'll only take this as a bait to run people's emotions, because I think they don't underestimate people, common people, because people are understood. They're not just by ruled by emotions these days. Do you think so? Do you think so? We are acting emotionally after a while.
So you ask that, so many people say that, why Sushant? Why Sushant? It's not because Sushant was a star. It's because so many people saw this case, and this case exposed all the social cracks in our system. It was not only Sushant, it was Disha Salyan. It was a girl who came, who studied, who worked hard. She got a job and she was trying to fulfill her dreams. It shows how safe a woman is in the country. And what happens when something like that happens to her? What does the how does the authorities act? What's the next thing? And then when it happened to a middle class person, like, she was not a celebrity, nobody cared for her when she died. Disha Salyan gone. But then again, it happened to a celebrity, a star. And then again, what happened? What's happening? Where's the procedure? Why is it not being followed? Why are the police acting like that? So I just I had this live and I said that the way the police were acting, that in itself, it shows the symptoms of such a deep rooted problem. If you think about it, that in a situation, if that is how the people who are supposed to maintain and keep law and order, and they start acting like that, so how are we safe? People got scared. People said, if that's happening to Disha Salyan, if that's happening to Sushant Singh Rajput, what will happen if that happens to me tomorrow? What will happen to so many people whose daughters want to go out and work with politicians, in the corporate business, in movie business, with the sports stars? What will happen to them? Or just because we are middle class people, we should tell our kids not to dream, not to think big. Just be here, do a mediocre job, and don't go to those places. Don't think big. So it Sushant Singh Rajput was a metaphor for middle class dream, if you think like that. Him making big, like, made so many of us proud and hopeful.
I'm with you.
And him being killed, like, shattered a whole class, like a whole middle class, where people were thinking, where these kids who are preparing for engineering, and they're thinking that, okay, my mom wants me to prepare for engineering, but I'll do something and then I might also pursue acting career later. There's so many people who want to. Why not? They are creative, they are good writers, they want to, but it's shattered. And imagine, there there must be like 50% of the people jinke bacche aaj, agar if they go to their parents and tell them that I want to make it big in Bollywood, their moms would say, nahi beta, rehne do, idhar hi raho. So it shattered people's dreams. That was one part. That is why there are so many people who are coming out. And still, it's, if I would say, if there are 100 people who want to see justice, 50 people are raising their voice, and 50 people are, they don't have any hope. Like, I can come and out here and I can say, my mom says it, nothing will happen.
I'm with you.
She comes from a generation where she says कि जब बड़े लोग करते हैं कुछ नहीं होगा. I say, Mama, I raise my voice because I have little bit hope that something will happen, because I want to change it. I want to see that change for my kids.
Fantastic,
Because
lovely. I would just hold you here. I think this was a beautiful message that want to change for my future generations. Lovely. I really thank you so much for today, and it's been my pleasure to have you. And we'll stay connected and be good. Take care of
Thank you
yourself.
so much. Thank you so much, Sanya. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks. Same here. Take care then. Bye bye.
Bye.
And now I have, somebody I really look upon. He's not just an entrepreneur, he's a wonderful human being. And I have seen him, I've actually grown in terms of understanding about this case through his analysis of this case. And he's coming from a great background of knowledge. He's a knowledge bank in itself, and I would love to hear his point of view in a very sensible and a very objective manner. So I bring upon Mr. Bibash here. Hi, Bibash, how are you? Can you hear me? Hi.
I can. I'm struggling a bit. My they have died on me, and that's why I got a bit delayed. So bear with me. In fact,
Right.
I'm on the speakerphone here. I should be able
I see.
to hear you, and you should be able to hear me clearly.
Great, fantastic, wonderful. So, Bibash, I welcome you on this forum. I'm so grateful that you've joined us, and
Thank you.
I know you've been, you're a man with a balanced mind and heart. This is how I perceive you. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Just say I'm correct, because I really believe so about you. And the reason that I call you here all the time is that you make me feel powered, because that have to have you or having you around makes me feel that I'm going to make this case happen along with the millions of others, and you are one of those people who give light to this case. So tell me, just give us a small capping around this case. I know most of us know about it, but in your own words, if you could just tell us. A lot of people are skeptical, since there are three dilemmas in the case with the police justice system and the political charged influences regarding this case, and how the case has unfolded. People are skeptical, people are pessimistic, and people are almost hopeless. So still we are here today to pay homage to dear Sushant, and lots of support to the family, and you are one of them who wants to bring forward this thought. So tell me more about, what do you make out of this?
First of all, thanks a lot, Sanya, for a lovely introduction you gave me. gave on my behalf. I do not know whether I deserve those wise words, but yeah, I mean, thanks a lot for that. I would start with paying a huge amount of respect and homage to the departed soul, the noble soul he was. It's been 2 years now. Today marks the second death anniversary. Uh, his passing away came as a shock to millions and zillions of people across the globe, not only India, but across the globe. In fact, I got connected to so many people across the globe. I was myself baffled and shocked to know that this gentleman had that kind of a fan following across globe. People will love you, only if you are a thorough gentleman, if you are a very good human being as such. There are a lot of people who may be good in their businesses, good in their acting, good in their different ways and different fields that they pursue, but it takes a lot to be a good human being, which is what uh, I feel Sushant was. And if you look at his journey, which started from uh, Manav in one of his serials that he used to do, to Manny in his last movie Dil Chahta Hai that he did. I mean, he came up leaps and bounds from where he started to what all he achieved in a short span. I think he was there in the Bollywood only for about 6 odd years, but in 6 odd years, what he achieved, people would not even achieve in about 2 or 3 decades. So
Yes.
he has done phenomenal in that short period that he was. If we come down to the case and the day that it happened, possibly the 13th and 14th intervening night, is what we feel probably that this particular thing would have happened with him. That there were primarily three agencies which came into the picture. So there came the NCB for the drug angle, to know and find whether drug played a big part in his going away, whether there was a drug cartel behind it and stuff like that, and who peddled within his system, within his coterie that he was staying with. That is one. Came also the ED, the Enforcement Directorate, to look at the financial aspect of the financial bungling, the so-called so many crores of rupees being siphoned off from his accounts in the alleged FIR by his parents. And the third came the CBI, which was to look at murder angle. Either, see, for us fans, we still consider it as a murder, unless there's a closure and the police and CBI thinks otherwise, it is a suicide for them. But
Yeah.
the millions of fans that we are and who are trying to pursue this particular case in whatever small manner that we could do, we feel that his death was definitely not a natural one. He parted away in sort of mysterious and very mysterious circumstances. If you look at the kind of information that was flooded on the social media and on internet, immense, immense. And whatever this is information which was available for us
Hmm.
and available for people in social media was something, uh, terrific amount of data which came out. Terrific amount of data which came out.
Hmm.
And people started to decipher from there on. 2 years passing away, really, we do not have any closure on any of the three agencies. He primarily probably has said that there is not much to look at in the financial bungling. NCB was where the maximum amount of noise happened. There were a lot of people who were picked up for action. There were people who were put behind bars for NDPS, drug peddling and usage and stuff like that. But somehow, not much came out where we fans wanted to hear the maximum amount of stuff should have happened was the CBI. Somehow, CBI has let the millions of fans down. They have neither filed closure, never filed closure in this particular case. So we don't really know what is that is looking at. Initially, they said that it's a murder angle that they're looking at. Then they said, no, there is no hanky panky. Probably it's suicide. And then again, they came up with a statement. And for the past almost about a year and a half, we have not heard much from any of the agencies. So the point where you came from is where most of us are today. That we are all, so to say, we lost hope. सब हताश हो गए हैं, सब उदास हो गए हैं, कि किसी को कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा कि कहाँ किस कौन क्या लेकर के आ रहा है ऑन द प्लेट, कौन क्या चीज बताएगा, किसी को कुछ नहीं पता है, टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक। किसी एजेंसी कोई हलचल नहीं है, apart from a few people who are always active on the social media. They are either at the Jantar Mantar, they are at the CI office and doing some, they're on the road crying out loud, asking justice for this poor soul who went away, mysterious circumstances. Much to a great extent is happening. Any of the agencies, one, I do not see much of attraction or much of noise out from the family as well, which is what is saddening. I want to thank them guilty of anything or something, but we would have wanted a lot of participation from these people within the family to come out and speak. Maybe, yes, I understand they were in shock. People grieve and to give them that time, not this particular root shock. Somebody from the family should have come out and hope. We have people within his family who are in police, are in judiciary, but somehow nothing much has been heard from them open public, from some people or maybe some tweets which is there in the social media. Her sister from US has come way that pressure, the maximum pressure would come from within the family if we are looking at any of the agencies to speak and to listen. You see, you and me will come as maybe it's sad that we come and discuss these things on and we did multiple shows on various platforms to speak on the flaw which probably was there in the system. But apart from that, we have very limited powers apart from coming up on social media. I do not know whether it is heard by the right kind of people or not. For the reason, because nothing much we have been able to hear or much has, that's where आपने कहा कि लोग उदास हैं, हताश हैं, उसका कारण है क्योंकि कुछ एजेंसीज जहां पर लोगों ने अपनी जान टिकाए रखी थी कि भाई इनसे कुछ सुनने को मिलेगा, वो ना मिला, वो सुनने के लिए हमको नहीं मिला।
मिस्टर विभाष, आपका थोड़ा वॉइस इज नॉट क्लियर. Your voice is not getting clear. I've been trying to listen. I didn't want to break you. Your voice is a bit. A lot of people are telling that we're not able to hear you.
You're not able to hear me.
Yeah, it's broken connection. Because बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
Just one second. Let me try and connect again.
It's better now. So your voice was cracking. A lot of people are telling me.
Because I told you my instructor died on me and it is not able to connect back. So that's why I thought probably it'll struggle a bit.
Okay.
Is it better? Any better now?
It's a bit like your whole thing you said was everybody's telling me it's cracking and they're unable to hear you. If you just switch off and come.
We can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
I think you need to just switch off and then come back again.
Let me do that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone who was just been telling me about the voice cracking. I was also trying to make something out of it because I've got back-to-back sessions, and I wanted his point of view. And uh, I was just, I would just take even Bridgie soon. Uh, you know, so I will just ask him. Uh, so I will just call even Bridgie. A lot of people about Bridgewani ji, and so I'm going to get him also and hear his point of view. And I'm so grateful to everybody here, Nirmala ji, Jyotsna ji, Shalab ji, and thank you so much for telling me. And then there is Kalpana ji, who is here, Soma ji, a lot of people who have joined us and writing comments. Really thankful and grateful to all of you. And Devashish Patnaik ji, thank you so much. That you've been so active, and I totally understand from where you're coming. But I will be reading all your comments because I know you're very passionate about this whole thing, and you've been also very, very active as an audience. So I'm so grateful to you. uh, and then a lot of people here joined today, uh, and trying to be a part of this homage paying. Really, really grateful. And Mr. Parul ji kehti hain, she's also written some comments here. uh, and then we have इन्होंने भी लिखा है, चेतन शर्मा जी ने भी लिखा है. And then we have this Dipali Shah ji, वो भी लिखती हैं, किशोर त्रिवेदी जी भी लिखते हैं. And then we have a lot of people who have written a lot of comments here. I'm not able to read them through the whole thing. You apologize for that, but I'm just mentioning all the names who have been active. Sabina Fernandez ji, um, then we have Neera Baswani, who has also, and then Debashi ji is saying lovely ji, and you were very happy that she was around. That's really nice. And then we have a lot of people, more people. Then we have this Khurshid Saab ji, Indira. Then we have Sabiba ji, and then we have Rakesh Kumar Singh ji. We have Mobin Sheikh ji kehti hain. All of you are with Sushant, Justice for Sushant. All of you are talking about that we need justice, and definitely we need justice. So I'm going to hope that this time when Mr. Bibash comes, he's going to have a right voice. And I have to apologize from my side that I'm unable to join you people more often and get you more, much more. It's just that some people can only do what they can do. And we are also doing very much voluntarily everything. This is only from our passion, and this is only on a belief to continue the path of righteousness. And I only get energy when I know that I can do it with conviction. So I am in full conviction with Sushant Singh Rajput and his persona. So I feel very, very secured when I raise my voice for him. And that's why I get this energy to come out and talk about it. Rest everything takes a lot of energy, and rather Sushant Singh Rajput gives me a lot of energy. So it's like that, and the whole thing is all about energy exchange. And that's something which Sushant also taught us, that even if life is all about give and take, but it's the way you give, and when you give you receive. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to give on the path of searching the truth. And this is for Sushant and many other people who are connected in this case, at the same time who are not connected in this case, but also can get some kind of help. And so that's why we are here on this forum. I really don't know if I should get Bridgie to come in and see if I was just thinking, let's see if I would say, would you like, I'll ask Bridgie to come. So let's see if he wishes to come, then I would call, uh, So I'm just trying to call Bridgie. So let's see if he's able to come, then he can join instead, because I really don't know if Vibhash's voice will be okay. So let's see. I think I've just asked Bridge G to join us, and he will be coming. So I'm so grateful that he would like to. He's also not so well, but since you all know about him, he works hard, and he's a passionate guy, and I really love his energies. So I would love to have him around and have this day, come along with all of us. He's also a very staunch SSRian, supported all through the way, and not fearlessly talking about things that he believes in. So I'm very grateful that he is coming to us right now. मैं आप लोगों से यही बात करना चाह रही थी, मैं बार-बार यही बोलना चाहती हूँ कि हम लोग Mr. Bridge is calling me. हम लोग जो लगते हैं यहाँ पर, एंड आप लोग जो आते हैं यहाँ पर, आप सुनते हैं, यू पीपल आर सो इम्पोर्टेंट, बिकॉज ये सारी चीजें तभी हो सकती हैं जब सब लोग इकट्ठे हों, जब सब लोग एक चीज पे मानने के एक मिशन लेकर चलें, ये तभी होता है ये काम, नहीं तो नहीं होता है। इंडिया में भी बहुत लोग लगे हुए हैं, जंतर मंतर पे बैठे हैं, बॉम्बे में कोई बैठा है, कोई कैलकाटा में बैठा है, लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु हैव कम इन, एंड ये तभी होता है जब आप लोग जागरूक होते हैं, जागरूक रहना चाहते हैं, और ये कहते हैं कि नहीं, हमने कुछ डिफरेंस करना है जिंदगी में, और हर कोई हर सेम काम नहीं कर सकता, तो इसीलिए जो कुछ भी इंसान खुद कर सकता है, उस पे तसल्ली से करना चाहिए, जो दूसरा करता है उस पे ज्यादा नहीं देखना चाहिए। हम जो कर सकते हैं हम वो करते हैं, और हमें जो अपनी कन्विक्शन है, हमारी जो सोच है, हम उस पे ज्यादा कोशिश करते हैं। जैसे अब मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि छोटी सी जगह से हम उठकर आते हैं, एंड हम लोग कहाँ इतनी दूर हैं इंडिया से, बहुत दूर है। मैं अगर इंडिया में दिल्ली में होती तो शायद आज जंतर मंतर में बैठी होती दिल्ली में, तो पर अब नहीं हूँ, तो अब जहाँ पर बैठ सकती हूँ वहां पर डेरा जमा लिया है। और अगर हम लोग आज थोड़े लोग हैं यहाँ पर, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, वो जो लोग हैं उनके लिए मैं आई हूँ, कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता 100 लोग हैं या 50 लोग हैं या 10 लोग हैं या 18 लोग हैं, कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता। क्योंकि फ़र्क तो ये पड़ता है कि हम जितने भी लोग हैं, हम एक ही मिशन के लिए बैठे हैं। मुझे ऐसे लगता है। हम नहीं तो बहुत लोग भी आते हैं। अब आए हैं ब्रिज जी। नाउ अगेन मिस्टर Bhivash is there. I'll catch him. Yes.
Am I clearer now?
Now you're much clearer, much clearer.
I
Fantastic.
don't know what is the problem. I'm still not able to connect to my Bluetooth AirPods, but I hope it's better.
Now it's better. Now it's better. You're much clearer. So आप you were talking in terms of जो हम बात कर रहे थे कि कई लोग बहुत थोड़े से वो हो गए हैं कि भाई मायूस हो गए हैं, और हम कहीं we are in the limbo. We're in the limbo. CBI has not come up with any concrete.
All of us are, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you have to say on that?
So that's what, Sanya, what we were discussing was primarily three agencies, तीन agencies जो इन पे काम कर रही हैं. If you look at ED, which came into the picture to look at the financial bungling वाला angle, कि उनके जो पैसे का हेरा फेरी हुआ कि नहीं, वो देखने के लिए. And they have
Yeah.
मोटा मोटी said कि नहीं, nothing much has happened on the financial aspect.
Yeah.
Second, being the NCB, we came up to look at the drug angle, which is where the maximum amount of noise was made. There were arrests made, people were put behind bars, people were called for interrogation, so much so as the high and mighty of Bollywood, they were called. But जो सबसे ज्यादा hope, in my perception, people had was on the CBI, because they were the ones who were supposedly interrogating so many people for the murder angle, or if I may say so, the suicide angle from the other side. None of which was very clear as to what exactly has happened. They have neither said it is this nor said it is that, which is why people are more in limbo.
Yeah.
Or people seem to be not having any direction to look at, or people seem to be like sad and very, very down. It's mainly because of that. People had very high hopes on the CBI, so to say,
Hmm.
coming up and coming up with something concrete. Let them say, okay, it is this or that, whichever ways. But they have not been able to do that. Absolutely not. Which is where I would say also that most of the people are saddened. हम नाराज इसलिए हैं कि उन्होंने कोई सा भी एंगल नहीं दिया है. और इतनी सारी जो क्वेश्चंस, इतने सारे जो प्रश्न उठाए गए थे लोगों से, ठीक है, आप लोग को जवाब नहीं देंगे, वो एजेंसी जनरल पब्लिक को जवाब नहीं देती है, बट एटलीस्ट एक स्टेटमेंट तो आ सकता था उनकी तरफ से.
बिल्कुल.
आफ्टर 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 साल आज हो रहे हैं. 2 साल में भी कोई क्लैरिटी नहीं है किसी की तरफ से कि भाई हुआ क्या था.
बिल्कुल. बिल्कुल.
Still believe that it was murder. Their part and their people would probably feel that it was a clear-cut case of suicide. But जो questions थे, somebody should have answered them. And by somebody, I mean some agency which is competent enough to answer that. You and me may not be a competent agency to answer that. But if they are the premier institute of the country, they should have answered that, is where the worry is. The silence is deafening from this premier agency, which is where we probably feel that, okay, we are in a somber mood, or we are in a mood wherein we don't feel like something has been achieved, even after 2 years of a lot of hue and cry being made by a lot of people. People have raised their on various platforms. अपने अलग अलग तरीके से लोगों ने चीजों को पहुंचाने की कोशिश की है, बट वो जिन एजेंसी तक शायद पहुंचनी चाहिए वहां तक आवाज हमारी पहुंच नहीं रही है, या किसी की आवाज नहीं पहुंच रही है.
आप क्या कहते हैं अब as per your information analysis, and you have been from the day one, should we human beings like who are common man, because जो agencies हैं वो तो जो कर रही हैं वो तो कर ही रही हैं, पता नहीं क्या कर रही हैं, but you know, are they sitting silent and whatever they're doing, but what is the next step, and by whom? Is there any next step, or it's gone down the grave? I mean, is it just because we are only speculating right now, but what is your analysis? What is your analysis? Is there shall we just keep quiet?
It's very tough. I won't say keep quiet, but to be very frank, after about 2 years and no direction whatsoever, you are saddened, you feel down, you feel low on confidence, and then there is nothing which you can pin hope on any one agency on which you can pin your hope on. We can't obviously invoke the prime minister of the country to look into each and every thing which happens in the country. It's not possible for them. There are so many agencies. Somebody should have taken up and come up with a closure. Either ways either ways they wanted to say, okay, suicide, it's because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 reasons. They say it was a murder. Let them say it's because of these 10 reasons and close it. At least there'll be a closure for a lot of people as well. People are still not willing to accept what happened 2 years back was a mere coincidence or was something which was a suicide. A bright student, a bright actor like him would take that kind of an extreme step. Very difficult to fathom. Very difficult to fathom. There are
Absolutely.
lots and lots of people who go into depression. People do not take their lives away in depression.
No, no.
Neither do people take their lives when they are in drug. If somebody has to say anything on that particular thing, that okay, maybe he was having drugs or he was doing drugs, people who do drugs are very darpoke, to be very frank.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
not have the guts to take that kind of an extreme step.
Mm.
So it's very difficult to understand what and where should we now look at. See, people have gone to Supreme Court. People have gone to various agencies. And by people, I mean individuals as well. Apart from the cases being going from one agency to the other, that would have happened. Individually, also, a lot of people have done their own homework and their own filing of cases. But something or the other is amiss. I
Yeah.
do not know what, but somehow things are not adding up.
I mean,
And you do not have much to look at now, apart from still the only agency which has still not filed a closure is CBI. So
yeah.
still maybe we should not lose hope. We should pin our hopes on CBI, but we do not know the track record of CBI in terms of the number of years that they take is huge. Look at
Mm.
Zia Khan's case. Eight
Mm.
and a half, 9 years now
Mm.
since her passing away. Still
Mm.
no clarity.
No clarity.
So are we looking at a very, very long battle? Do not know. If you remember one of the shows that I had done long back, I said it's not going to be something which will come up very fast. But
Mm.
I do not know to how long people have to wait. For how long people have to wait is something very difficult to quantify in terms of number of months or years or anything of that sort.
But the the saddened part in this case is that there is no case yet. There is no charge sheet. There is no I mean, there's nobody is being charged. So nobody knows if this is and nobody has actually justified that this is a suicide either. So there is nothing. I mean, it's not going this or that direction.
Which
And
is
when it
which
comes
is what I
to,
said, Tanya.
you
If
know,
you remember in one of the shows also again, if I had said Supreme Court themselves says that custodial interrogation is the most scientific way of extracting truth. If Supreme Court believes that, why has none of the agency done a single custodial interrogation? There has been no single custodial interrogation by the CBI. Yes, they have
mm,
been interrogated like you and me discussing. That kind of a discussion has happened. You may call it as an interrogation, but no custodial interrogation by CBI has happened as yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which is what should have happened long back, especially with those people who were staying with Sushant in his flat or who stayed with him for a long, long period of time,
Mm, I'm
be
with
it
you.
the accused number one or those three guys who were staying with him. None have been subjected to a custodial interrogation. See, apart from, I mean, if you look at, we can keep talking on these things for ours together, Sanya, if you look at the technology part of it, we have spoken again
Yeah.
numerous things which cannot be, आप उसको झुठला नहीं सकते हैं. मैं आपके बारे में कुछ ओपिनियन देना चाहता हूं, मैं सही बोल सकता हूं, मैं गलत बोल सकता हूं, आप मेरे बारे में कुछ सही या गलत बोल सकती हैं, बट something which is a technology, you can't fool a technology. You can't say that, okay, I was not there at that moment in time. If the technology says that you were there, if the mobile signal technology says that, okay, some certain person, he or she was in this cell zone, cell site at this particular XYZ moment, meaning he or she was there.
That's a fact.
और आपका फोन था. अब आपका फोन तो कोई किसी को ऐसे ही नहीं दे देगा ना घुमाने के लिए कि वो घूमने गया हुआ था यहां से वहां.
I'm with you.
So there are so many gaps, there are so many gaps which we as fans feel, but those gaps have not been plugged. They have remained as gaps, they have remained as questions, they have remained with us, and which pains us, and it has been painful for a huge amount of people.
Vibhash, one last question to you. Do you really feel that what I heard from many others, that we do have, a lot of like advocates, not directly who are dealing with it, but indirectly were telling that if there are no proofs, judiciary will not pay any homage to this, like anything, will not go ahead. But according to what I understand, that we did have some kind of technological proofs and technological strong suspicions, which can be converted into a lot of proof leading stuff or understanding, so which has not been taken into consideration, or they have just shoved under the carpet. So do you feel that even after a number of years, all this thing, if somebody who comes honestly and worked at it, can come to a kind of a conclusion to it? Is there any, do you see that there is technically possibility, if someone who really wants this
I'll,
case to happen?
I'll tell you, Sanya, very frankly, if somebody has captured the data and the data is somewhere safe, after 10 years also you can find out. But otherwise, see, like we have spoken on many things. Let's say a CCTV camera footage, a celebrity moving here, there, multiple cameras would have captured. If you look at, and again I draw a parallel between what happened with Sachin Waze's case, suddenly all the CCTV footages were there for the agencies to look at. He crossing the road, he going into a car, he coming out of a hotel, all the CCTV cams captured that. So if the footage is there with somebody, and the footage and the DVR, the digital video recorder, has not been destroyed completely, then it is easy for anybody to come and look at those things and decipher. Either ways. But either these particular things have not been captured and collected, or they have been looked aside, then it's going to be difficult. Mobile, yes, mobile companies keep that data for n number of years, but beyond that, they also purge the data. If any of the premier agencies have called for that data, then it's possible for anybody, even after 20 years, to look at. See, if you remember, we also spoke about Sushant's car, which happened to be Maserati, which itself has a GPS device. I do not know if the family has called for the dump data of his car GPS coordinates. That would again give a lot of insights into where all the car went, which all locations.
Yeah.
So it depends, Sanya, if somebody has kept the data somewhere, I say, it's been captured and with some agency or with some particular person in the agency, then even after a decade, 2 decades, it can still be looked at. But if that footage itself is not there. So let's say the CCTV footages have not been captured, the CCTV footage of his building is not there, and so on and so forth. The dump data from the mobile companies has not been taken.
Hmm.
Then it's going to be difficult for somebody to start looking at data which is more than 2 years old and nowhere captured, because
I'm
those data gets overwritten. The CCTV footage camera data, they get overwritten beyond a certain number of days. Similar is the thing with the mobile companies. If the court asks them that, okay, for so and so period to so and so period, give me the dump data of the entire area where Sushant used to reside, they are bound to give that data. Today, we have only three mobile companies to look at. In Mumbai and in India, in fact, there are only three mobile companies which operate. So Vodafone, Airtel, and Jio. That's it. Whichever his phone company was, you call for that. Or even otherwise, you call for the data. And somebody who knows to decipher data can find out how many people would have crossed between 13th and 14th in that particular cell site possible. And then you find out from that, okay, so many people are residing in the building. Okay, fine, they are one side. How many visitors have come in? How many unknown people have come in? How many regular visitors? Because data talks, data has so many things to talk about. Somebody who can decipher data will know. Not a very difficult thing to do. But nothing being captured by any of the agencies, then it's going to be very, very tough, Sanya. Very, very tough.
But the question is, do you think that they cannot capture? Like, why wouldn't they do that? Like, why wouldn't?
Which is
Is it
what is
possible?
baffling. Which is what is baffling. Which is what is baffling. If you remember, we were shouting on the top of our voices on multiple platforms, multiple times. Multiple television channels have spoken also about this. Very difficult to digest that nothing would have been captured or nothing was captured. Why would it not have been captured? In such a case of a high profile actor going away or taken away under mysterious circumstances, why would any agency not look at those kind of data? Very difficult to digest that. Very
And he was
difficult.
also a very technologically qualified guy with technologically, charged people who understood technology in its really core sense. And these guys also have nothing on to
which is
store,
which is which
you
is
know.
again a fantastic point raised by you. This guy was technically so sound, very difficult to understand that he would not have had anything as a capturing device in his house, and something which could not have or which would not have been backed up onto the cloud.
I mean, when we know that he, his life was in danger, or XYZ, that he took his life, what may come? Something he must have designed so that he says the
Definitely.
truth to his loved ones, that okay,
Definitely.
this is what is happening in my life. I mean, he wasn't nobody. He was a smart kid. Yeah, I mean, he was super smart kid. So I'm
And
sure he would have,
he was a
so,
star.
so
He was
this
a great
doesn't
star.
feel right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't make
It does
sense.
not. It does not. It does not. Very difficult to digest. Very difficult to digest that somebody who's that kind of a tech savvy person, somebody who's that kind of a high profile personality, somebody who felt that probably his life is at stake, would not look at capturing something so much of data today can go onto the cloud.
Exactly. I mean, if that is the case, like what may come if the case is that life was in danger, or he himself, whatever the case is, like I don't want to say, I mean, I strongly believe that this was not the guy who would, take his life. I believe that. But I'm
Very
saying, let's
difficult to
take the
digest that.
worst. Let's take the worst. But something he must have thought that, okay, this is what I'm planning, and my loved ones need to know what's happening to me. I mean, and he was a good guy at heart. He would never do this to his own family. Forget about everybody else. So I don't, it doesn't make sense. Something crazy is
Doesn't add
happening.
up. Rightly
Yeah,
said, something doesn't add up.
yeah,
Something doesn't add up for somebody who was so tech savvy. So let's hope
exactly.
and pray that there is something backed up somewhere. We do not know
Exactly.
what has been backed up
Exactly.
and where.
Exactly.
But if some agency looks at that, some new angle might come up. You never know. You are muted. You are muted, Sanya. You are muted. Your mic is muted, Sanya. Can't hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely, I mean, like, so that's something I really, so now it's good, it's good to get told. But I would ask you a last question now, because we know that there is big fish, and a bad fish in the sea, which is stinking. But what is, I mean, I'm not going to ask what common man can do. But what should be our prerogative, as common people? And do we continue asking questions and raise voices in our own ways, or we should just stay calm and wait for Godot to come? They call it as that.
I see. I would frankly say that no point in just being calm and quiet. You should be calm, but you should still ask questions. There are ways and means by which you can still keep raising questions. There are so many people today also who have gone to Jantar Mantar and are having some silent prayers, or they are having silent protest or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's hope and pray that somebody at the real top one
Hmm.
day hears us and starts looking into it in a more favorable way, wherein some good might come out of it, is what
Absolutely.
I would hope and pray.
Yes. So thanks a lot, Bibash, that you came and you kept our optimism on, and gave your analysis again, very, very meaningful. And I can just only say that, you make a difference. With a lot of people would listen to you and, say that, okay, let's keep it on. And
It's a small contribution, Sanya, from all of us put together, is what we would want to do to get some justice for this noble soul. Just because he
absolutely.
was a noble soul, may God give powers to all of us who are trying to contribute in whatever small way we can, and may it see the light of the day. May
Absolutely.
somebody at the real top start looking at it in a different way, differently, and maybe he or she gets to the root of it sooner,
Absolutely.
is what I would
Absolutely.
pray.
Great, Vibash. Thank you so much for joining us. You really make a difference. And I wish you a wonderful evening, and we'll stay in touch. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Sanya. Pleasure.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
being here.
Take care. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye. So this was Mr. Bibash, and I really admire him, as I've told you. And it was so wonderful to have him here and get his peace of mind. And he shared his bit, and I thought that it was very meaningful and purposeful to our mission of joining the hands together to walk and march to seek the truth, and of course, always stand for justice. And I would just ask all of you to be patient and keep praying, folding hands, that the right thing comes forward, and we all here represent the truth. And Sushant, not just Sushant, but many other like Sushant. But Sushant holds the emblem because he somehow has the soul and aura which allows us to bring this energy on. I get energy the moment I speak about, Sushant. So hail Sushant. So thank you so much, my dear friends, that you joined me today. And a lot of people just left and went. There were some connection problems. I'm so sorry for that. But यही जिंदगी है, connection problems आती हैं, हमने connections को साथ लेकर चलना है. टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छी है, पर कभी कभी टेक्नोलॉजी हमें खराब भी करती है. सो प्लीज डोंट माइंड एंड बी पेशेंट विद अस. वी कंटिन्यू आवर जर्नी. आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक, call upon Mr. Brajesh, and I'm going to first switch off this live and then come back again. So I'll catch you again in just few moments again. Take care then. Thank you so much, and bye bye.